What's up guys, that Racing Game Guy here. Today I'm back in Forza Horizon 2 doing kind of a hardcore mode challenge, I guess you can say. This is something that me and Tomcat talked about a little bit while we were recording one of our police chase videos, and we turned off the map and the names above cars and stuff. Now, we basically said turn off map, turn off speedometer, go to interior view, and just drive by the gauges of the car itself, and basically make like Call of Duty hardcore mode, replicate that in Forza Horizon 2. So that's what I'm doing today. You guys can let me know how you like it, if you find it entertaining. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. But it definitely adds a lot more realism to it. And being a video game, obviously it's going to have a limited level of realism, but this definitely helps it. Now, if you were to do this on like the really professional setups like they had at E3 and Gamescom, where they have a racing seat and steering wheel and pedals and all that good stuff, all that fun stuff, that would definitely obviously make it much more realistic. But Forza does a good job at making the handling also realistic, because some games are too arcadey and it's like the physics are not anything like a real car, while other games tend to overcomplicate it. They tend to make it too hard. They tend to make it like beyond realistic, if you know what I mean. But Forza does a really good job at making the physics realistic, especially in Horizon. Now, as far as like using the interior view, that just adds that kind of feel makes you feel like you're inside the car. I mean, that's a given, but turning the gauges and stuff off and just going by the gauges of the car, it adds realism to it, and that realism is definitely fun. Now, I used to not like the interior mode, but I've gotten used to it, and I'm finding it a lot more fun. Especially doing stuff like this, like a hardcore mode kind of challenge. But this car, whoops. As you can see, it's not the best to drift. It's kind of a little bit overpowered. I'm going to show you the outside of the car, that way you guys can see it. But it is a Lamborghini Huracan. It's got about 800 horsepower, and I did switch it to rear-wheel drive. Now, if I can make my way back to the what's it called? Hub. I totally lost my train of thought there. If I can make it back to the hub, if I can find where it is, I will show you guys the actual build. But it's kind of a struggle finding it. You have to, and that's another thing. This makes you learn your way around the map more. Okay, let's see. I think it's right up here. This kind of forces you to learn your way around the map, versus having the mini-map on and being able to follow that and pausing and going to the actual like full big map and setting a route. Okay, I think it's this way. Okay, I spun it a little too much there. More of a 360 than a 180 like I wanted it to be. But that's okay. Let's see, the hub is right here. Another cool thing is, if you look down there at the speedometer, which is right next to the gear selector, that little number, the smaller number, is the speedometer. There's not actually a speedometer gauge, which is kind of strange, but at the same time it's really cool. And in the car, it actually goes by kilometers per hour, which I have it set to miles per hour when I have the in-game gauge on, but apparently that doesn't change the dashboard of the car, so it's kilometers per hour. But basically, 60 miles an hour, or I should say 62 miles an hour, is 100 kilometers an hour.
Dude.
So
Let me know what
you can
need.
kind of base everything off of that to kind of guess about how fast you're going. Now, as far as the engine, I did very basic stuff. I upgraded intake, exhaust, cams, and flywheel. Did not upgrade twin turbos or anything. And that's another thing. Sorry, I should have shown this first. But there's an engine swap available, but for 25,000 credits, that's not what I want to do. I did switch it to rear-wheel drive, like I said, just so I can make it drift a little bit better. I have two Hurricanes, Hurricanes, however you want to say it. I have two of them, and the other one is like my drag build. This one is more underpowered. Well, sorry, I take that back. It's not underpowered, but it is less powered. It's less overpowered, I should say. It has a more moderate level of power. Moderate to high, with 800 horsepower. Whoops. So I showed you guys the engine work. I did race springs on this one. I might switch it to rally. Blanked again there. Couldn't think of the word. Weight reduction, of course, I always do that. Fully upgraded driveline. That's a must. Did not upgrade the tires except for the front tire width. I turned that up just a hair. And then I got these wheels on it. They look really good in my opinion. As far as the paint is like a metallic red. And then the hood I made carbon fiber, but I changed the hue of the carbon fiber to red. It's not as bright red as I would like it to be. Even though in the garage it looks okay, once you get out of the garage it just looks black, which is kind of pointless to me. But it looks good. I wish it was brighter, but it looks good. And then obviously I didn't do any aero appearance because there's no chin spoiler and there's no massive race wing. The tuning, again, you know, just a really basic tune, just kind of a baseline tune, just to help the driftability rather than not tuning it whatsoever. That would be stupid. But I'll back out of the garage. I'll show you guys a little bit more, maybe some exterior cam, although exterior cam I think is more fun to watch, but it makes me kind of have to count what gear I'm in more and keep track of it myself because I can't just look in the lower right corner. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay on this one. You guys can let me know if you like watching this or not. I know it's probably less entertaining, but like I said, this was just an idea that me and Tomcat came up with. So I wanted to kind of introduce it and show it. But you guys can try this on your own and all. Let me know what you think in the comments below. See, this car it would be more entertaining to watch if I had a better drift car. But I'm gonna close the video soon, so I'm not like gonna switch cars right now. Maybe next time. Next time I'll do a hardcore mode challenge with a different car. And leave car suggestions. Leave car suggestions, leave suggestions for like hardcore mode or whatever. But let you guys hear the exhaust sound. Whoops. Maybe not. The game's like, nope. The car's like, nope. I'm just gonna spin out. But it has that, obviously being a Hurricane, Huracan, whatever. It has that Lamborghini V12 scream that we all know and love and adore. And sometimes you can see stuff like that coming up a little bit better than the Chaser cam. See, that drift was okay, not the best. Definitely better than spinning out though. But I don't know if you guys can hear it at all, but I can kind of hear the blow-off valve from the turbos a little bit, even though they're not upgraded at all. But that with the Lamborghini V12 scream in the background sounds so gorgeous. It's like music. Like I could just sit there and listen to a soundtrack of this car. Like, just listen to it. That's what I'm talking about. That scream, that kind of mean scream that it has. Especially in the higher RPM. Once you get past about 7,000 RPM, that's where it really starts to open up.
You have arrived at your destination.
Totally just redlined that and didn't mean to. Still beat the speed camp though. But that is the Lamborghini Huracan, whatever, drift build, plus hardcore mode. Definitely let me know what you think. It's kind of a new idea. So hopefully, you know, maybe it can catch on, maybe not. That's why I want to hear your opinions on it. If you liked it, thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Like I said, subscribe to the channel if you're new. There's going to be more great stuff coming soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.